Have you ever wondered how pharmacists have been using animals for medical testing and research for centuries? Well, let's take a step back in time to the dawn of animal handling in pharmacy. Since time immemorial, animals have been indispensable in the realm of medical research. From the ancient Greeks who dissected animals to understand anatomy, to the Enlightenment scientists who used animals to map out physiological processes, animals have been at the heart of our quest to understand the human body. Different animals were chosen for different reasons. Dogs and pigs, for instance, were selected for their physiological similarities to humans. Mice and rats, on the other hand, were used due to their short lifespan and rapid reproduction rate, which allowed for the study of genetic changes over several generations in a relatively short time. Birds, too, found their place in pharmacological research, notably in the development of vaccines. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. As the use of animals in medical research increased, so did the ethical questions surrounding this practice. In the 18th century, for example, the vivisection of animals, particularly dogs, became a contentious issue. This led to the first laws regulating animal testing, marking a significant shift in societal attitudes towards animal welfare. The dawn of animal handling in pharmacy was also characterized by a considerable amount of trial and error. Before the advent of modern scientific methods, many of the practices were crude and sometimes even dangerous. It was through these early experiences that we began to understand the importance of proper animal handling in pharmacy, not just for the welfare of the animals, but also for the validity and reliability of the research. From these humble beginnings, animal handling in pharmacy has grown into a sophisticated and highly regulated field. As we delve further into this topic, we'll explore how this field has evolved over the centuries and where it stands today. So, stay tuned as we journey through the fascinating world of animal handling in pharmacy. As science advanced, so did the use of animals in pharmacy. But how exactly did we get from there to here? The evolution of animal handling in pharmacy is a fascinating tale of discovery, innovation, and ethics. It's an intertwining narrative of scientific advancement and growing societal consciousness. Let's start with the early days. The use of animals in pharmacy began as a means to test drug safety and efficacy. These rudimentary experiments laid the groundwork for many of the medical breakthroughs we benefit from today. As we ventured further into the 20th century, the methods of animal testing became more refined. Scientists developed new techniques, allowing for more precise results and reduced animal suffering. This era saw the introduction of the Draize test for eye and skin irritation, and the LD50 test, which determined the lethal dose of a substance that would kill 50% of the test animals. These tests, while controversial, contributed significantly to our understanding of drug effects. But with these advancements also came a shift in societal attitudes. Questions were raised about the ethical implications of animal testing. Was it right to cause harm to animals for the benefit of humankind? These questions led to the introduction of regulations governing animal handling in pharmacy. As we moved into the 21st century, the focus shifted towards more humane practices. The 3 R's principle, replacement, reduction, and refinement, was introduced. This principle encourages scientists to replace animal testing where possible, reduce the number of animals used, and refine procedures to minimize animal suffering. Today, we see an increased use of alternatives to animal testing, such as in vitro methods, computer modeling, and microdosing. However, animal testing continues to play a crucial role in drug development, particularly where human safety is concerned. Today, animal handling in pharmacy is a complex field that balances the need for medical breakthroughs with the welfare of animals. It's a field that continues to evolve, promising a future of more humane and effective practices. In the modern world, animal handling in pharmacy is a highly regulated field. But what exactly are these regulations, and how do they impact the role of animals in pharmacy? Let's take a closer look. In the realm of pharmaceuticals, animals play a crucial role in research and testing, especially in the early stages of drug development. However, this does not mean that animals are used haphazardly. There are stringent regulations in place to ensure that their use is justified, humane, and ethical. For one, any use of animals in research must be approved by an Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee, or IACUC. This committee reviews each proposal to use animals in research, ensuring that the use is necessary, that the number of animals used is minimized, and that alternatives to animal testing have been thoroughly considered. Moreover, the animal's care and treatment are also regulated. The Guide for the Care and Use of Laboratory Animals, often simply referred to as the Guide, is a widely accepted standard in the field. It details the minimum acceptable standards for the housing, feeding, and handling of animals in research. On top of these national regulations, international bodies also play a role. The World Health Organization, the European Medicines Agency, and others have their own guidelines for animal use, often in line with or even exceeding the standards set by the guide. And let's not forget the role of the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA oversees the use of animals in pharmaceutical testing, ensuring that the testing is done in a way that is both safe for the animals and provides reliable results for humans. These regulations and bodies work together to create a system that respects the rights and welfare of animals, while still allowing for the crucial research that leads to new medical treatments and therapies. It's a delicate balance, but one that is essential in the field of pharmacy. These regulations are key in ensuring that animals are treated ethically, while still allowing for the vital research that leads to medical breakthroughs. Despite the regulations, ethical considerations remain at the forefront of animal handling in pharmacy. So, what are these considerations, and are there alternatives? When it comes to animal handling in pharmacy, the ethics aren't as black and white as one might think. It's a delicate balance between the pursuit of medical advancements and the welfare of the animals involved. The main ethical considerations revolve around the 3 R's: replacement, reduction, and refinement. Replacement refers to the use of alternative methods that avoid or replace the use of animals in areas where animals would have otherwise been used. Reduction relates to methods that minimize animal use and enable researchers to obtain comparable levels of information from fewer animals or gain more information from the same number of animals, thereby reducing the overall number of animals used. Refinement refers to modifications of husbandry or experimental procedures to minimize pain, suffering, distress, or lasting harm, and to enhance animal welfare for the animals still used. The debate surrounding the use of animals in testing and research is one that continues to rage on. On one hand, animal testing has played a crucial role in many scientific and medical breakthroughs, and it is often the only legally and scientifically valid method for testing the safety and effectiveness of new drugs. On the other hand, the suffering and death of animals in experiments is inherently unethical, particularly when the benefits of these tests are uncertain. However, the good news is that alternatives are being developed and implemented. In vitro testing, for example, involves studying cell cultures in a petri dish, which can often provide a more accurate representation of human responses than animal testing. Computer simulations and in silico modeling are also becoming increasingly sophisticated, allowing scientists to predict how a drug will react in the human body with remarkable accuracy. So we find ourselves at a crossroads in the realm of animal handling in pharmacy. As technology advances, the field continues to evolve, offering the potential for more humane alternatives to animal testing. From historical beginnings to current practices, animal handling in pharmacy is a complex and fascinating field. But where is it headed in the future? Let's take a moment to recap the journey we've been on before we delve into what's next. We began at the dawn of animal handling in pharmacy, when animals were first used for medicinal purposes. This practice has come a long way since then, with advancements in technology and methodology transforming the field. We then explored the evolution and advancements that have taken place, from the early days of crude experimentation to the development of refined techniques and procedures. This journey has been marked by significant milestones, such as the introduction of regulations to ensure the welfare of animals. In our discussion of current practices and regulations, we highlighted the stringent measures in place to uphold ethical standards. These include the requirement for licensing and the enforcement of the 3 R's principle: replacement, reduction, and refinement. We also delved into the ethical considerations and alternatives to animal testing. Increasingly, researchers are turning to alternatives such as in vitro testing and computer simulations, which hold the promise of reducing our reliance on animals in the pharmacy sector. So, where do we go from here? The future of animal handling in pharmacy is likely to be marked by further advancements in alternative testing methods. As technology continues to evolve, we can expect more sophisticated in vitro tests and computer models that can accurately predict the effects of drugs and therapies. Alongside this, regulations will continue to evolve, keeping pace with advancements in the field and societal attitudes towards animal welfare. We may see more stringent measures to further minimize animal use and ensure the highest standards of animal welfare. As we move forward, the field of animal handling in pharmacy will continue to evolve, balancing the need for medical research with ethical considerations and the welfare of animals. This is a journey that's far from over, but one thing is clear: the future holds exciting possibilities for both animal welfare and the field of pharmacy.